These canyons are so beautiful. Driving over here always helps me to clear my mind. It's been a few weeks that I've been thinking about going to Iran, but I'm not sure if this is the right time.
When are you leaving? How long will you be gone?
I'm having a hard time these days. I'm not sure how I would feel without therapy and your support.
Is it safe to travel to Iran?
مریم خوبه قبل عروسی اون بری ایران. میری امیرم میبینی، معلوم نیست که اون بتونه بیاد.
Your concern about leaving your patients is understandable, but maybe you want to trust the part of you that knows they're resilient.
سلام عزیزم، چطوری؟ آره، من تا 10 دقیقه دیگه میرسم خونه. باشه، من میرم رو روفتاپ تا تو بیای. Behruz is right. I need to listen to my heart. I want to get back to my roots, to get in touch with the parts of me that I have been away from for a while. I want to spend time with Amir, my brother. I think I should grab a camera and go to the distant villages of Iran, my motherland, a land that has given birth to some of the oldest human narratives. Man has throughout the ages been seeking something beyond himself, beyond material welfare, something we can call truth, or God, or reality, a timeless state, something that cannot be disturbed by circumstances, by thought, or by human corruption. Man has always asked the question, what is it all about? Has life any meaning at all? He sees the enormous confusion of life, the brutalities, the revolt, the wars, the endless divisions of religion, ideology, and nationality. And with a sense of deep, abiding frustration, he asks, what does it want to do? What is this thing we call living? Is there anything beyond it? It's so comforting to be back at my parents' house, even though they're not here in Iran right now. The only one who's left in our home is Amir, surrounded by all these photos, books, and memories. History of civilization, Rumi, Dostoevsky, Chekhov's short stories, Shamlu's poetry. But tonight, I'm also here. Tehran, the capital of a country that's home to one of the world's oldest civilizations. A city that has witnessed a revolution, a land full of tales, conversations on the street, fears, desires, hopelessness, and joyfulness. This city holds so many memories, meanings, and values for me. This is where I was born, went to school, gained experiences that shaped me to who I am. Where I met Behruz, the love of my life, and where I made lifelong friends.
مریم چه کار خوبی کردی اومدی. دیگه خیلی دلم تنگ شده بود.
بابا منم همینطور.
عروسی کیه؟
ببین عروسی دیگه 7-8 ماه دیگه است. ولی خیلی حیفه که شما نمیتونین ویزا بگیرین بیاین.
اصلا من سعی میکنم فکرشم نکنم.
یادت اون روز از دانشگاه داشتیم می‌بدیم تو ماشین چه مسخره بازی تو تاکسی در آوردیم.
یادته؟
آره دیگه.
یادش
تو یه ذره تعریف کن.
چی بگم؟ خودت میدونی دیگه اینجا وقتی که این تحریم اومده وضع ایران خیلی خرابه. وضع اقتصادی خرابه، دلار گرون شده، رو مردم خیلی فشاره دیگه، مثل قدیما نیست چی.
چقدر ناراحت کننده.
مریم اون یکی کولر هم پیدا کردم
چه عالی. فردا صبح ساعت چند میری؟
حدود 5-5:30 صبح بریم خوبه؟
آره خوبه. اوکی. We started our journey by visiting my grandma in the north of Iran, and from there we planned to go to the villages surrounding Iran's central desert. I'm so glad to see this water again. Its ebbs and flows bring back childhood memories and feelings. I saw my grandma for the last time in this trip to North. She spread her wings and flew away from this world. It's so joyful to be on this journey with Amir and his calm and kind presence.
ماری در حال رانندگی.
مامان جونم عزیزم. آره الان صدا داره میاد. خط نستعلیق دیگه. آره مثل همونطوری که تو کتاب حافظ می‌نویسن. باشه حالا عکسشو بفرست، من در حال رانندگی ام. اینترنت هم ممکنه قطع شه، پس سریع بفرست. آره باشه.
تعطیلی خالی ندارم. حساب رو ببین اون وسط هفته خارجی داریم.
خارجی ها که هفته
اینا نه دیگه، اینا اصلا مشکلی باید حالا یواش یه 34 تا دیگه اینجا خرابه داریم. آره یکی اینو یکی اونو که دو تا همون داریم. این دو تا هم درست بشه دیگه خرابه نداریم.
اونایی هم که مرمت شدید مردم انار چند خون بکنه؟
انار چاه آخریش که چون مادر بهش میگیم مثلا 5 متر هست.
قنات یعنی چاهایی به هم
پیوسته که آره رفتن مثلا آب کوه رو گرفتن را منبای زیرزمینی کوه چونن بعدی آب گرفتن.
We decided to stay at Amma Hussein's house for the night. We were touched by his hospitality and admired his intelligence.
ببین اینجا 2 تا زن دارن کار میکنن. بیا اون 2 تا رو بگیر. دیدیشون؟
زن نیستم،
چیه؟
بترسکم.
داره میاد به سمت ما.
همه رو درست سر تایی بیابون بلند میکنه میبره.
خب من واقعا دارم میترسم. یا علی، یا امیر بریم. جوابشو بده، جوابشو بده. میتونم ریلکس باشم.
الو
بارون قطع شده؟
همه من میگم یه سقف به سقف همینجا بریم جلو.
اینطوری فکر میکنی؟
آره من فکر میکنم که به سمت پایین بعد بریم رو همین سنگ فرشا دیگه بالاخره میرسیم به دم اون مغازه اون اول ده. هر جا که بریم و هر جهتی که بریم میرسیم به ابتدای ده.
باش. فکر کنم مسیر رو پیدا کردیم.
مثل این طوفان امروز حالا چجوری بگیم خوشبختانه بدبختانه ما ندیده بودیم. خیلی طوفان به قول معروف ناجوری بود که یا آلاچیقی پشت بمون خیلی روش کار کرده بودیم و زحمت کشیده بودیم. اینو باد بلند کرد، طوفان برد 3 4 5 تا بم اونورتر بلوش کرده است. البته از بین رفت دیگه.
متاسفم.
کیت
مرسی. مرسی.
این نقص سفیده دیگه هم میگه خود البته اون ورش رفته رو هوا.
صبح بخیر. ردیفی؟
ردیفم املتمونم زدن، تا خوبان قابلم زدن.
خیلی خوب.
بزنیم و بریم به سمت ازمیقان تبس.
آره.
گرمه.
ببینیم به کجا میرسیم.
بزن بریم. Goodbye to the beautiful village where one feels so safe that no one needs to lock their door. I hope that I can bring Behruz to visit. Being on the road together is a great way to connect with one another. Amir and I talked about our childhood memories, politics, the Big Bang, evolution, cosmos, our life's purpose. We also talked about the interconnectedness of all beings and creatures, the strive to rise above the identification with form, ego, thoughts, and the chattering mind, and talked about our desire to be able to live fully in the present moment, a place beyond good or bad. Being able to spend this time with Amir has been so precious. It makes me realize how much I needed his presence. He makes me feel more connected to my roots. And I think I make him feel the same way. I believe having deep relationships helps humans thrive in life. I told Amir about my work as a psychologist and gradually realizing that the most powerful healing factor in my work with my patients is our therapeutic relationship, a meaningful and trusting connection that creates a safe space to be vulnerable and real. The essence of working with another person is to be present as a living being. Amir asked these older men to help us find a place to stay for the night. This man told Amir that Esfahak was an abandoned village because many of its residents died after a horrific earthquake about 40 years ago. He said that his son Mohsen was the only person who lived there and gave us his phone number. A feeling told me to stay for the night, and I decided to trust that feeling. We were unable to find Mohsen, but his friend came to show us the room. Amir was not feeling comfortable to stay for the night. He was concerned for my safety. I know he would have felt differently if he was by himself. His concern was understandable. Who knows what could have happened to us in this abandoned village? After the earthquake, all the residents who survived it gradually left Esfahan. They didn't want to be reminded of the bitter and painful memories of the earthquake and losing their loved ones. It seemed that the children of the neighbor villages were also scared of this place.
میگم که بعد از اینکه زلزله اومد اونایی که زنده موندن چیکار کردن؟
اونا نصفش مردم میشه آوردن اینا که دیگه مثلا زخم زخال شده بودن دیگه ماشینا می آمدن لکه میشه آورد به بیرجان لکه به مشهد بیبر بوبر به دکترا برا دکترا می آمدن خیلی جاها می آمدن نی
مردم خوب کمک کردن یعنی
کمک دیگه می آوردن خوب برا 2 سال ما بانته چادرایی با اینجا چادر زده رشته ایم برا
2 سال
چند سال با اینجا چادر زده رشته ایم سر آدمی زاد سخته برا سخت
Later in the evening, a thoughtful person had placed lanterns along the way to guide us through the alleys. This kind gesture helped us feel the true essence of this mysterious village and let go of our remaining concerns. We met Mohsen for the first time when it was dark. I was unable to see his face. He was softly singing a love song. He seemed to be a romantic. Next morning, Mohsen gave us a tour of the village and explained its architecture. He had a very intriguing personality. He was determined to restore Esfahan in spite of all the disagreement he was faced by his parents for spending all his time in this way. It seemed that he was searching for something, maybe for a feeling. Maybe he was trying to heal something within himself by repairing his roots and restoring Esfahan.
پر کردن این فاصله چون مثلا هر موقعی که دیدیش خیلی‌ها الان خیلی‌ها با جربه هستن. بچگی همیشه یه آقل گوسفند تحویل من بود ولی خب شب که می‌بینیم شما سختی نکشیدین شما کیف می‌کنین فلان و ما باید چیکاری انجام بدیم که مگه بعد که طرف اومده مثلا یه هشتی تشکیل داده.
The architecture of this place was truly beautiful. And Mohsen told us that he was anxiously waiting for the arrival of a group of French students to study Esfahan's architecture.
مطرح کنید چه غذاهایی درست میدونم غذاها چی بوده چون اینکه بیشتر شبیه
نه اینکه تنوره برای نون
تنور برای نونه
آره
بعد غذاهای دیگر رو کجا درست می‌کردن
2 تا دیگدون داشتن جای دیگی دیگه به حساب که دیگ می‌ذاشتن
زیرش
اینو مثلا آتیش می‌کردن می‌ریختن هر چی داشتن می‌ریختن داخل با بادمجونی زور
In this sacred mosque, Mohsen shared with us a story about a man whom he was inspired by, a man with a terminal illness who had decided to stay close to his roots in Esfahan in spite of doctors' advice.
برگشت خیلی حالش بهتر شد با اینکه مریضش داشت عود میکرد ولی خب خیلی حالش بهتر بود الان من یه خورده بهتر شده مریضش ولی خب حال میکنه تو اسفحان نمیدونی یه چیزی که تو وجود آدم میگه که همونی که هستی باش اگه مهم نیست که میخواد چه اتفاقی بیفته براش مهم نیست خیلی خیلی نگاه بزرگی ها که آقا میگه اصلا براش مهم نیست که بقیه چی میگن یا دکترا میگن آقا نه تو باید اینطوری کنی یا این کاری به ضررشه اون چیزی که از قبل بوده رو میخواد داشته باشه الان اون هیچی هم نیست فقط رو زوره حالا یکی اونور واسه که بیشتر دود اصلا خیلی خوردنش خوب نیست.
چرا الان برمیدارم.
Mohsen's mother also shared with us her memories from the earthquake. She told us about Mohsen and her wish for him to get married and start his own family. But his mind was occupied and focused on restoring the village.
What was the name again?
Bayazid.
Bayozi was the best I saw in Iran. Yeah, amazing landscapes with that's not a dunes but some small hills like 3D, many layers. Amazing. Yeah, I recommend it fully.
Okay.
We offered him a ride since he had 4 hours of walking to arrive to his next destination. He thanked us and continued his journey into the heated heart of Iran's desert. This fortress in the Bayazid village is over 2,500 years old. The key holder of this fortress was an intelligent young woman, one of the last survivors of the fortress guards. Her ancestors were hardworking people who had built this fortress, and she is now trusted by the people to protect this fortress that had protected them for centuries.
چند طبقه است اینجا؟
6 طبقه بوده. اینجا هم اینایی که دیوار داره اینا
She told me that she was thinking to move to the city to further her education and become a more well-rounded woman, but her parents didn't want her to go. I shared with her my story of immigrating from Iran to United States to further my education and see the other side of the world, hoping that my story in some ways could inspire her to make a decision that was good for her. We met a young couple from Germany in Germe. They had come all the way to this side of the world to visit the remote villages of Iran. When I asked them how they feel being in this foreign place, he smiled and said, "We feel at home by now."
اینکه توفم میکنی شکلی.
There was no room available for us in Germe, so we decided to head towards our next destination, Iraq. Amir told me to prepare myself for spending the night in a tent, since it was getting dark and we had no place to stay as of then. And somehow we ended up at this magical place. It felt as if we had entered one of the 1001 Nights tales. The air felt fresh, and a soft breeze was moving leaves and blossoms of the pomegranate tree. It was surreal. I found 1001 Nights book in our room, and right next to it was a poetry book on the 1,000 years old sacred cypress tree of Iraq, also known as the heart of this village. We learned that the owners of that magical house were a young couple who had moved from Tehran to this very remote village, Iraj. To me, it felt as if they had immigrated within their own country to rebuild the other sides of it. They were not only inspiring the residents of Iraj, but also people from the neighbor cities to rebuild their country. Every step of this journey, from my decision to embark upon this trip, was inspired by tuning into my heart's voice, trusting my intuition, and letting the rest unfold. I think now I have a better grasp of how it feels to listen to my inner guidance and trust the process of life. It feels nice and very much liberating.
یار مرا غار مرا عشق جگر خار مرا یار تویی غار تویی خواجه نگهدار مرا
ترسیدم
عجب عقربی.
نه اینو ممکنه ببینی، جزئی از طبیعت اینجاست.
Amir told me that the wisdom of the desert has been a source of inspiration for spiritual awakening. The formless truth is also manifested in forms, and in the desert, due to its simplicity, the manifestation of formless in forms is represented in its most simple way. And it's been said that it's easier to be in touch with the divine formless truth in the stillness of the desert.
وقتی از او پرسیدن که چطور چنین خواهد شد جوابی به خبرنگاران نداد.
همین الان فدریکا موگرینی رئیس سیاست خارجی اتحادیه اروپا داره صحبت میکنه. اجازه بدید که ببینیم خانم موگرینی چی میگه.
از توافق هست. اتحادیه اروپا مکرراً تاکید کرده است که برداشتن تحریم‌های مربوط به فعالیت هسته‌ای ایران نتایج مثبتی رو بر روی روابط تجاری با ایران داشته و همینطور برای مردم ایران هم منافع خوبی داشته.
It was my last night in Iran that President Trump announced his intention to impose more sanctions against Iran and withdraw the United States from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. I could see the extent of concern in my family members about the immediate impacts of these sanctions on Iran's economy and people's life. Iran's currency will be further weakened, and the inflation rate will rise even more. And if there was a slight chance that Amir could get a visa and make it to my wedding, that chance was also gone.
So come, my friends, be not afraid. We are so lightly here. It is in love that we are made. In love we disappear.
It is true that I'm saying goodbye to Amir tonight, but we will always remain connected through our hearts. It feels like that every person that I met in this trip is also a part of me. I can see the parallels. Mohsen, who was determined to stay close to his roots and repair them. The keyholder of the fortress, who was thinking to move out of her village and leave her family to continue her education. The couple in Iraj, who had moved from their place of birth, Tehran, to a remote village. And the tourists that had traveled to a foreign country to see the other side of the world. I hope that we can put more effort into uniting the people of the world, rather than creating more division between the people and the countries. There is a difference between the human being and the individual. The individual is a local entity, living in a particular country belonging to a particular culture, society, religion. But the human being is not a local entity. He's everywhere. If the individual merely acts in the particular corner of the vast field of life, as if his actions are totally unrelated to the whole, then he's unaware of the connectedness of all. So one has to bear in mind that we are talking of the whole, not the part, because in the greater, the lesser is, but in the lesser, the greater is not.